They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think he's had there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not. He's
Okay,
not.
okay. Take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chafe on the other side. Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chafe on the other side. We can lift this up lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Well, Connor Ashworth is now taking over for the Wenatchee AppleSox on the mound. Ashworth is 6'7" and 340. That's right, 3 Bills on the mound now for the Wenatchee AppleSox as he faces a situation with a runner at second base. 1 run is already in. And now the big right-hander will look in at Jack Van Remortel. First pitch is inside, missed by the catcher, goes all the way to the back, or actually kicks off the umpire and kicks over to foul territory on the third base side, and that allows the runner to move up 90 feet. So a wild pitch will move Haig to third. 1-0 the count now to Jack Van Remortel. So Ashworth, another Brewster product, will step in now for the AppleSox on the mound. He's a junior at Spokane Falls Community College. The pitch to the plate is high for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Van Remortel. Connor wearing that powder blue uniform. Looks like he's got, I think it's number 35. Again, none of the jerseys match, or is it 37? 37. None of the jersey numbers match the roster right now. This pitch misses for a ball. So 3-0 the count to Van Remortel. He's had a good night, couple of RBI doubles, and he flew out to center. 3-0 count to him here. Ashworth ready. Pitch to the plate is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1. It is Brewster night here at the ballpark as the Bears state championship team was honored before the ball game. They have the trophy with them here tonight, and now watching a former Bear out on the mound trying to get it out here with a runner at third base and 1 out in the inning, and 1 run is in. 3-1 pitch swung on, popped up and outside the infield. The infield was drawn back, so a tough play, and the wind's going to raise havoc with this one, and the run's going to score, and ending up down at second base on the play will be Van Remortel. So yet another double, give him 3 in the ball game and another RBI, and Bellingham extends the lead to 5-2. Tough play for the entire infield there. Closest was Arahudas. Oyama was there as well, but the infield was drawn in with a runner at third base trying to keep the run from scoring. And so with that pop-up just outside the dirt portion of the infield, not much they could do, and then the wind raised havoc with the ball as well, and just no chance at all. So Van Remortel out at second base, where he has been 3 times tonight on 3 doubles and 3 RBIs. Christopher Campos now steps up. He's 0 for the night so far. A fly out and a couple of ground outs. So 2 runs in here for Bellingham after Wenatchee scratched across 2 runs in their last inning. So the Bells counter. Curveball in for a strike, in the count 0-1 on Christopher Campos. Our broadcast here on the NCW Life Channel brought to you in part by Together for Youth. I'd like to encourage you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. This pitch taken for strike 2 to Campos. A little confidence builder there for Connor Ashworth. And a big right-hander checks the runner out at second base, being held on by or Jesus, and the pitch here bounces in for a ball. Good stop by Sampiri, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So Orahudos keeping him close to the bag out there at second for Wenatchee, as Jack Van Remortel getting himself acquainted with that second base bag quite a bit tonight. 1-2 the count to Campos. And Ashworth's pitch to the plate is swung on, popped up in the infield, or this is going to go out of play behind the dugout on the first base side. And the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Our broadcast also brought to you by That Pizza Place in Cashmere. Call for reservations. Mention the $12.99 pepperoni pizza special. That Pizza Place in Cashmere. 1-2 the count to Christopher Campos as the wind continues to whistle through our microphones here at the ballpark. This pitch, strike 3 called, gone looking. On a huge second out is Campos. And that'll bring up catcher Will Cresswell. Cresswell is 1 for 3 in the ball game, struck out, grounded out, and singled to center in his last plate appearance in the 6th. Ashworth working from the stretch on the right hand, or on the rubber out there. Right-hander looking in for the sign from his catcher Ezra Samperi. And the delivery to the plate is bouncing in. Nice stop again by Samperi. And the count 1-0 to Will Cresswell. Next broadcast of AppleSox baseball here on the NCW Life Channel will be on Tuesday, June 28th. First of a series with the Kelowna Falcons in town. So be sure and join us for that. 6:30 pregame, 6:35 first pitch here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The 1-0 pitch by Ashworth after a long look at second is low for ball 2. Boy, it is not warm here tonight. 2-0 the count to Cresswell. Fans are still hanging in here. Blankets and jackets and sweatshirts and whatever you can find to stay warm. The 2-0 pitch by Ashworth is in there for a strike. 2-1 to Cresswell. Came into the ball game batting .222 for the Bells. Bellingham first place in the West Coast League's Northern Division. Again, they split the season in half, so the teams that finish in first in the North and South divisions will automatically go to the playoffs. Doesn't matter what they do for the rest of the season. There'll be a first half winner. This pitch swung on and missed, and the count evens to Cresswell at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Whole bunch of new teams in the West Coast League this year, with Edmonton joining the league, Ridgefield joining the league, Kamloops joining the league. 2-2 the count here to Cresswell. Ashworth with 2 down here in the 7th, working in relief of Riley Sinclair. The big right-hander from Booster trying to bear down here for the AppleSox. Pitch on the way, is swung on and grounded to the right side of the infield. And it's going to be a race to the bag at first, and winning it and nearly avoiding a collision is Luke Stuka. 3 unassisted on the putout, and that'll do it for Bellingham. But they do get 2 runs on 3 hits, and a man is left. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th after the 7th inning stretch here at the ballpark, with Bellingham leading Wenatchee 5-2. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCW Life Channel.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. New pitcher on the mound here for the Bellingham Bells. Taking over is Ryan Scott, a junior from Maine Farmington. So Scott taking over in relief here. He'll be the fourth pitcher of the night for the Bells. Ryan, a 6'2", 190-pounder out of Maine Farmington, the University of Maine in Farmington. He'll face Joichiro Oyama to start off the bottom of the seventh here for the AppleSox. First pitch swung on and grounded towards the second baseman, and fumbling it is Hainline, and he will not get the throw over in time for the out. He won't even throw it. So that's going to be an error, I believe, charged on Hainline. That ball kind of handcuffed him as he moved to his right. So I believe E4 will be the charge there for Oyama to get aboard. And as far as Oyama is concerned, he doesn't care. He just needs to get Wenatchee back on the scoreboard here. After they scored 2 in the 6th, gave 2 back in the 7th, and we're at 5-2, Bellingham on top. This pitch is a strike to Sampiri, 0-1 to Ezra. Looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 3. He's flown out, hit into a fielder's choice, and grounded out to second. 0-1 the count here as Ryan Scott works in relief for the Bells. Swing and a miss puts Samperi behind 0-2. Ryan Scott is 0-1 for Bellingham so far this summer. Has made, this is his third appearance. He's pitched 2 2/3 so far, and the ERA ballooned because he's given up 5 earned runs in his 2 2/3 innings. This pitch misses for a ball. 1-2 the count to Sampiri. ERA at 16.87 in his couple of appearances, with 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. So he's been a little wild. The 1-2 pitch on the way is swung on and popped up, foul down the first baseline and out of play. And the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Caught in a conflict, family, housing, business? Call Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center at 509-888-0957 for help. 1-2 the count to Ezra Samperi with Oyama at first base. He'll hold. The pitch is inside for ball 2. Enzo Apodaca waiting on deck here for the AppleSox. as they trail it 5-2 here. Trying to get another rally going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. There you see the short lead at first by Oyama. Pitch on the way to the plate, swung on a hit hard, but foul up the third baseline. And the count stays at 2-2 on Semperia. Again, Sox will see Bellingham here for 2 more days, tomorrow and Sunday. 6:35 game time tomorrow, and 1:05 on Sunday for Father's Day. Bring Dad out to the ballpark. One of the greatest things my dad ever taught me, besides being able to tie a hook fishing, is the game of baseball. I was his bat boy as he was a Little League coach back in the day. Pitch on the way to the plate here, swung on a chop to the third baseman. Double play chance, the second for one. The relay to first, not in time. So Semperia aboard on a fielder's choice. 5-4. Oyama out at second base. And that'll bring up Enzo Apodaca. Enzo is 1 for 2 in the ball game and scored Wenatchee's first run on a wild pitch back in the 6th. Stepped up here in the 7th with a runner at first base and 1 down. Apodaca's first base hit was right through that gap with a runner at first base. And this pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1 here to Apodaca. Actually, I apologize. No, that was with nobody aboard in the 4th. He led off the 4th inning with a base hit to right. 0-1 to count to the Gonzaga product here. Oyama holds it first, pitches high and outside for ball 1. 1-1. I think the AppleSox could do themselves a favor by being a little patient here with Ryan Scott on the mound. Elliot Gallegos, by the way, third pitcher of the night, went an inning, gave up 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts and a walk. That's his line on the night. Bellingham leading at 5-2 here in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out and 1 aboard for Wenatchee. The 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2. Fans that are gathered around home plate have the benefit of the bowl here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, probably protecting them a little bit from the wind that's blowing at my back. I'm exposed here up on top of the dugout on the third base side. That ball, by the way, was a called strike, so the count even now to Apodaca at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he chokes up a little bit on that bat here in protect mode with a 2-2 count. Runner from first fakes the run. His pitch swung on late by Apodaca, and he fouls it back. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the fans that came pretty much hanging out here despite a 5-2 ball game on a chilly night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Hopefully the weather will get a little better as the weekend progresses. It's should be nicer on Sunday at 1:05 start time. The 2-2 pitch by Ryan Scott swung on again, fouled back by Enzo. So the count stays at 2-2. Matthew Hallback waiting on deck here for Wenatchee. Wenatchee, by the way, in this ball game, as far as runners left on base, 7 tonight left on base. And our base runner out there right now with 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. The 2-2 pitch again instead is a toss to the bag at first, and back on a head first lunge is Ezra Samperi. Two and two the count remaining on Apodaca. Good battle here between Enzo and Ryan Scott. Curveball misses low, and a good stop by Cresswell brings the count full to Apodaca at 3-2. Enzo at Gonzaga this year hit .268 for the Bulldogs. Did have 42 runs batted in. This pitch swung on as the runner from first went. The roll goes through for a base hit. Rounding second, heading in for third, and standing up safely is Sam Perry on a base hit, on a run and hit basically for Wenatchee. Sam Perry left from the bag and was breaking towards second, and that caused Hainline, the second baseman, to break towards the second base bag. And as the ball was struck by Apodaca, it went right where Hainline was, and that allowed Semperia to get around to third base. So runners on the corners for Wenatchee for the second inning in a row, and that'll bring up Matthew Hallback. Hallback with a couple of base hits. He's 2 for 3 and a run scored. Nobody working down to the bullpen for the Bells. They lead at 5-2, but Wenatchee trying to make a mark here. This pitch is taken outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count to Matthew Hallback. Hallback, a 6'3", 95-pound sophomore from UC San Diego. Winds have died a little bit in the last few moments. The pitch by Scott, swung on and fouled away on the first base side and out of play, and the count evens to Hallback at 1 ball and 1 strike. Our broadcast also brought to you by Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy. Open 7 days a week in Leavenworth and Wenatchee, or stop in at 108 Lounge at the Wenatchee Walk. Walkabout Grill. 1-1 the count to Hallback, and the pitch by Scott to him is a curveball. He looked like he wanted to wiggle and swing at that, but holds back nicely, and the count goes to 2-1. Mitch Darlington, new head coach for Wenatchee, as this pitch is in the dirt for a ball, and the count runs now 3-1 to Hallback. Darlington in the third base coach's box, hoping his Sox can come up with some magic here in the 7th and come up with a win here tonight. Wenatchee came into this ball game 5-1 at home. They've just struggled on the road so far this season. 3-1 pitch from Scott. On the way, swung on and hit hard. This is going to get in, drop down for a base hit, skips off the center fielder, goes over his head. Rounding third, holding at third base will be Apodaca. It's an RBI double for Sampiri. Might call it a single with an error, but nonetheless, Wenatchee scores. It's now a 5-3 ball game. And 1 down. And 2 runners in scoring position, and Michael Davini due. He's 0 for 3 here tonight. He's hit in all 12 AppleSox games this season so far, looking to extend that hitting streak, and boy, would it be a great time to do that right here. So give the RBI to Hallback, and that's 3 hits for Hallback on the night. He winds up down at second base. This pitch swung on a ground and back past the mound. Shortstop over will field and throw. A run will score. Give Davini an RBI. And it's now a 5-4 ball game. Make that 6-3 on the putouts. On Davini, Apodaca scores on the play. Hallback winds up down at third base. Sox with 2 outs here in the inning, but have clawed back immediately. It's a 1-run ball game, and Cole Miller, who had an RBI double in his last plate appearance, steps up here with a runner at third base and 2 down. Pitch on the way to the plate is a bouncing in, missing ball 1, curveball in the dirt to Cole Miller. Now a right-hander starts to warm up down to the bullpen for Bellingham. Things are still down in the bullpen for Wenatchee. 1-0 the count to Cole Miller. Ryan Scott feeling the pressure, and the pitch swung on and hit foul territory. First baseman over, has room, will make the catch in foul territory, but the Sox do get 2 back. They score 2 runs on 2 hits. believe a couple of errors. They only have one up on the scoreboard, but we'll head to the 8th inning of play. It's a 5-4 ball game. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCW Life Channel.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think he's had AIDS. Is there something the matter with him?
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as we head to the 8th inning of play. It's a 5-4 ball game, back and forth. Here we go. As Connor Ashworth will continue to pitch for the AppleSox here in the 8th inning. He'll face Ty Saunders, Daniel Gernon, and J.R. Freedy. That's the lineup. 7, 8, and 9 batters due up here for Bellingham. And the task right now for the Sox and for Ashworth is to just hold everything right where it is and put up a goose egg and head to the bottom of the 8th and try to get another rally going here for Wenatchee. Looks like we have a pinch hitter coming up for the Bells here, as it is number 4, and that's Gavin Schultz. So Schultz will be a pinch hitter for Ty Saunders. We'll see what Bellingham does defensively. The first pitch is in there for a strike from Ashworth. 0-1 the count. So we'll put a line through the night for Ty Saunders, who finishes 0 for 2 in the ball game. And now Schultz in there in the right-handed batter's box. The 0-1 pitch to him. Curveball is in for a strike. 0-2 the count quickly on Schultz. Daniel Gernon waiting on deck. The 0-2 wind and delivery by Ashworth, swung on and barely getting a piece of that was Schultz to stay alive, and the count stays at 0-2. Ashworth at Spokane Falls this year was 1-0 with a 2.18 earned run average, had 1 save in his 10 games appeared for the Squatch. This pitch is a curveball missing low for ball 1. 1-2 the count to Schultz. Again, batting for Saunders. We're in the top of the 8th. If you're just joining us, it's been a great ball game so far. 5-4 our score. Bellingham on top. The 1-2 pitch from Ashworth swung on, and again, just barely getting a piece of that curveball was Schultz, and the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Pretty good crowd on hand here tonight, has hung out for this one, and they've been given an entertaining night. Sox would love just to get a win here at home. This pitch swung on and a fly ball deep to left center. Apodaca letting that wind blow the ball back to him, and he will camp there and make the catch for the out. So 1 up, 1 down for Bellingham as Schultz is out, and that'll bring up center fielder Daniel Gernon. Let's see if it is 22. It is. So Gernon is 0 for 3 on the night. Grounded to short, got aboard on an error in the 4th, and then flew out to right in his last plate appearance in the 6th. First pitch here, and they say he went around on a check swing. 0-1 the count. Good help by Nick Hudlow out there on the base paths tonight. Our 2-man crew, Vinny Mariana, behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Connor Ashworth, the Brewster product, with a pitch to the plate. Curveball misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. AppleSox Coyote, the mascot for the Sox. Hey, by the way, happy Mascot Day. I heard it's National Mascot Day. That's pretty cool. Coyote joining us here in our broadcast location. This pitch is a fastball. Boy, just barely missed outside. And the count goes to 2-1. That's what I love about coming to the ballpark here at Paul Thomas is the fans very educated. Boy, they're going to let their voice be heard if they don't like what's going on out there with the umpires. That's the way it should be. The 2-1 pitch is a little high for ball 3, 3-1. I know Coyote's happy to have fans back and it's being normal and you don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to. Hey, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. 3-1 the count here to Gernon. Ashworth ready, and the pitch to the plate is a little low for ball 4. So that is the first walk given up by Connor Ashworth in relief here. And with a runner at first base, we'll see what Bellingham decides to do strategically as their head coach, Adam Giesland, is heading down towards home plate. Looks like they might bring in a pinch hitter here. J.R. Freedy, the DH, was supposed to bat. And it does look like they're going to go with a pinch hitter here. And he is wearing, looks like, number 1. And if that's the case, boy, my old eyes aren't what they used to be. That would be Nate Clough out of Federal Way. He's a junior at USC. So Clough, our second pinch hitter of the inning, will come into the left-handed batter's box to face the righty on the mound. 1 on, 1 out. Pitch to him is a little outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. So Freedy ends the night 1 for 3 with a base hit and a run scored. The second of the 5 runs in the ball game for Bellingham here this evening. Right-hander warming up down to the bullpen for the Bells. We'll probably see him in the bottom of the 8th. Right now, the job for Ashworth, hold that goose egg where it is on the scoreboard. Pitch on the way to the plate is a little, oh no, strike called by the home plate umpire. So the count evens to Clough at 1-1. Again, Nate Clough in the left-handed batter's box, or it could be Clough. It's C-L-O-W. Maybe it's Clough. Ashworth with a peek over his shoulder at first base. And the big right-hander's 1-1 pitch to the plate. Swung on a miss. Pulled the string on that one. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes to Clough. As again the wind decides to whip up here, blowing out to right field with a left-hander at the plate. You got to be careful on a ball in the air to right field. Cole Miller playing pretty deep out there on right with that wind in his face right now. Runner at first base is Gernon. And the 1-2 pitch by Ashworth. The runner goes. The pitch is outside for a ball to throw down to second base. In time! They got him! Caught stealing. 2-6 on the putout. There we go. That's exactly what we needed, Coyote. 2 down here in the inning. The count now even to Clough at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful throw down by Sampiri to Oyama, covering the bag at second. Here comes the 2-2 pitch on the way to the plate. Bounces in for a ball. Count runs full to Clough at 3-2. Looking at the scoreboard, they did not give 2 errors to Bellingham in that last frame, so just 1 error on the scoreboard for Bellingham. 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 3 errors for Wenatchee tonight. This pitch swung on and fouled back. So the count stays at 3-2. Boy, I'm telling you what, it is cold, cold, cold. Full count here to Clough. Ashworth with the pitch. And that's a little low for ball 4. So the second walk given up here by Ashworth will put Clough at first base. And we'll see if there's another move here afoot for Bellingham offensively. And it looks like there will be. Well, Elijah Hainline is scheduled to bat. But it looks to me, oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at the next batter on deck. He will be a pinch hitter if he gets a chance. Hainline steps up. 1 for 3 on the night. And the first pitch to him misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Hainline singled in his last plate appearance. He came around to score on the RBI by Cole Haig. Haig's got 3 ribbies on the night. Van Remortel also has 3 RBIs and 3 doubles. Don't want to see him here. Ashworth ready with the 1-0 pitch. It's a little outside for ball 2. Two and 0 the count to Elijah Hainline out of Washington State University. And we're going to get a timeout here as we'll get a visit to the mound here. And this is Mitch Darlington coming out to the mound. I believe, no, I'm sorry, it's the pitching coach for Wenatchee. I thought it was Darlington there for a minute, but it is Aaron Vaughn talking to his big right-hander here on a 2-0 count to Hainline. With runners, well, a runner at first base in a 1-run ball game, and that's the message right now is you got 2 outs, just come at the hitter. You got 7 guys behind you that are ready to make a play for you. 2-0 the count to Hainline, who climbs back in the right-handed batter's box, and boy, does he crowd the plate. Runner at first is Clow. Held on over there by Stuka. Pitch to the plate, swung on a miss, and the count goes to 2-1. Usually a visit to the mound elicits a strike down the middle from the pitcher, and that's what Hainline was expecting. He just missed it. Hainline back in. Where's that number 2 on his bat? On his back, I should say. It might be on his bat, too. You never know. 2-1 pitch is high. The snap throw down to first base, not in time. And the count runs to 3-1 on Hainline. I don't see anybody warming up down to the bullpen for Wenatchee, so it's up to Ashworth here to get her done. 3-1 count to Hainline with 2 down here in the 8th inning. 5-4 ball game. Wenatchee trailing it by 1, trying to give the fans in attendance here tonight something to cheer about on Brewster Bear night at the ballpark with the Brewster product on the mound. The 3-1 pitch to the plate is outside for ball 4. So 3 walks given up here by Ashworth in the inning. And the inning continues. Clow goes down to second base. Hainline winds up at first, and Josh Trujillo is scheduled to bat. We'll see if he will bat. Nope, it is not Trujillo. Instead, man wearing number 3. Jared Buhanda. First pitch to Buhanda is in there for a strike. The 3rd pinch hitter of the inning here for Bellingham and coach Adam Giesland. 0-1 the count to Buhanda. And this pitch swung on, popped up, foul territory. I think this is going to get out of play. It will. It'll hit the top of the dugout just down from me here, and the count goes to 0-2 on Buhanda. Well, interesting choice to pull Josh Trujillo for Buhanda. Trujillo had a triple and a run scored in the first. He was 1 for 2, make that 1 for 3 on the night. He did strike out in his last plate appearance. Now Buhanda behind in the count, 0-2. Ashworth trying to get out of a jam here with 2 outs and 2 on. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fisted off the left side of the infield, and right there is Davini. His throw across in time to get the out. That'll do it in the 8th. Bells get a couple aboard, but they leave 2 stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 5-4 ball game. Wenatchee due up next. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCW Life Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
and you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Hit the road safely with Les Schwab and save up to $150 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
Grant Sherrod, Luke Stuka, and Xander Orohudos due up here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Wenatchee in a one-run ball game, 5-4 our score. As Sherrod will step up, he's 0 for 2 on the night officially. Grounded out to short, struck out, and also walked. So Wenatchee with a little late rally here to bring themselves to within 1 of Bellingham, the team they've been battling with all week long, losing all 3 games in Joe Martin Field earlier this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and last night. Trying to get a little revenge here tonight, but they still have some work to do with just 2 frames left to do it in, as Grant Sherrod will step up here in the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Scott, 4th pitcher of the night, still working for Bellingham on the mound. Right-hander looks in. There is a right-hander warming up down to the bullpen who has been for a while. First pitch on the way to Sherrod is in there. No, a little inside, I guess, for ball 1. Boy, fastball looked pretty good to me, but apparently the home plate umpire says no. 1-0 the count to Sherrod. Batting .409 coming into the ballgame tonight. Still looking for his first hit of the ballgame. Pitch on the way, he is a fastball in this time for a strike. The count evens to Sherrod at 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life channel. Eric Granstrom with you and a cast of 10s. No, there's a few hundred people that were probably here tonight. 1-1 to count. This pitch is a strike called. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes to Grant Sherrod, the 6'3", 210-pound junior from South Carolina upstate. Doing well for the Sox so far this summer, coming in batting .409 into tonight. Ryan Scott trying to keep Wenatchee at bay. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. And gone is Sherrod for the first out here of the 8th inning. That'll bring up first baseman Luke Stuka. Stuka's 0 for 2. He struck out, grounded out, and was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance in the 6th. One quickly, the count to Stuka. And Scott ready with the next delivery. It's outside for a ball. 2-1 the count to Stuka. Xander Orohudos waiting on deck for Wenatchee. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sox trail it by 1. Pitch is a curveball in there for a strike. Evens the count to Stuka at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wenatchee 2 runs in the 6th on a couple of hits. 2 runs and a couple of hits in the 7th to pull to within 1 here at 5-4. The 2-2 pitch on the way is high and outside for ball 3. Again, Ryan Scott has been known for throwing some pitches out of the strike zone. He came in a relief here in the 7th. He did not walk a batter, although the AppleSox were pretty patient with him. 3-2 the count now to Stuka. And the right-hander's big breath and delivery on the way is bouncing in for a ball. That brings the count full at 3-2. Pitch to the plate, swung on, and a fly ball to deep left field, but playing deep back there and having plenty of room is the new left fielder. So a fly out to left for the second out by Stuka, and that'll bring up Orejudos. So Xander Orejudos stepping up here in the 8th inning with 2 down for the Sox, trailing at 5-4. Pitch on the way to the plate is a curveball missing outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Dan Kuntz has been running all over the ballpark tonight, joining us here on the broadcast. Are you sure it's June 17th, for God's sake? I am just chilled beyond belief. Next pitch misses low for a ball. 2-0 the count.
I was born and raised here. I do not remember a spring like this ever.
No. And like I was talking about earlier on the broadcast, I mean, we were sweating at this time last year. I mean, it was in the 90s, well into the 90s. This pitch is inside for a ball. 3-0 the count to Orejudos as the AppleSox try to get a little rally going here in the 8th inning. I bring Dan on the broadcast for a couple of reasons here. One, I like to have you on the broadcast. You know, you're a good baseball guy. Fun to talk ball with you. 3-0 the count to Orejudos here. This pitch is taken all the way for a ball. 3-1 the count. But I got to be honest with you, folks. I suddenly just am not feeling real well. Don't know something I ate or whatever the case is, but it is hitting me all of a sudden. So if I disappear, you'll know why. 3-1 pitch is a little inside for ball 4. So the Sox get a runner aboard with 2 down, and that goes back to the top of the order for Joichiro Oyama.
I forgot how lousy your hearing is.
Yeah, sorry, Dan.
A lot of his headphones have worn in quite some time.
Too many loud gymnasiums with cheerleaders and bands right close to me, so. Yeah, Dan's molars are rattling right now, and we could have a change in the pitching situation here for Bellingham. In fact, that's what we are going to do. So we're going to take a break, and Dan is going to take over the broadcast here for a moment, and we'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCW Live channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
Welcome
Welcome back to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Dan Kuntz filling in for the temporarily indisposed Eric Granstrom. We have a new pitcher for the Bellingham Bells. He is Nate Mendoza, right-hander out of Cal State Bernardino. He takes over here in the 8th inning on what the AppleSox hope will be a continuous rally, although I must say, in all honesty, the crowd has thinned out just a skosh over the last I don't know, almost since the sun went down, because the sun's gone down, but the wind has not. And there are some pretty brave kids here who are wearing shorts. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's like when you're a kid. That's what you're going to do. High pop-up, just out of play. Of course, Paul Thomas Senior Stadium is quite quaint, and there's just not a lot of foul room for the catcher to come on in and make that play. Batting for the AppleSox, by the way, is Omaya out of California, Irvine. He's the leadoff player, leadoff hitter, Japanese native. Pickoff move that could have gotten a little on the nasty side, but first baseman for Bellingham was able to corral it. Joichiro Oyama at the plate. Leadoff hitter. AppleSox trying to manufacture a run, and that's the way you go about doing it. Stolen base. And that'll be a stolen base. Although the ball was in the dirt, it was handled fairly cleanly by the catcher. And that puts the AppleSox in scoring position. Trying to nibble away at this lead. 5-4 if you're just joining us. Bellingham on top. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 outs. Inside, almost hit him. Of course, he has a very small strike zone. Joichiro has. Bats left, throws right. Don't see that a lot. If you're a left-handed hitter who can put the ball in play, you will find playing time. 3-1 the count. That ball's in the dirt. That's going to advance the runner. But again, a perfect example of what I was just talking about, how small the footprint is here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. That ball came right back to the catcher, so that's as far as they were going to get. So now we have runners on the corners for Mr. Sampiri. Don't think we're going to see another pitching change here, righty on righty, but Coach wants to talk to him. They're going to talk a little strategy. Timeout for the Wenatchee AppleSox. This is a critical situation for the Sox. They're going to talk things over. 2 outs, runners on the corner. Now, of course, both of these runners have great speed. And scheduled to hit. Ezra Sampiri is one of the best ball players on this team. Number 2 hitter, supposed to put the ball in play. We'll see if he can. I'm surprised that the Bellingham pitcher isn't playing soft toss with such a chilly night. The umpires have no problems as long as you don't step on the rubber and throw actual practice pitches. You can step off to the grass and still play catch with your catcher to keep your arm warm, but he's opted not to, so that's something to look for. He hasn't thrown a pitch now in a couple of minutes, and when that happens, there's a tendency to groove a fastball. So let's see if Ezra Sampiri can take advantage of the situation. Again, with 2 outs, runners will be running on contact. Ball's into the dirt. They say foul tip, so runners can't advance. And a big first strike for the pitcher for the Bellingham Bells, Nate Mendoza. Took a big cut. That was a meaty pitch right there. He probably wants that one back, but that was a rear back and fire shot from Mendoza. So now it's 0-2 for Sampiri. Again, runners on the corners. Both runners have quite a bit of speed, but the only one that really counts is the runner on third base. He crosses home plate. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Both trying to do the double steal. They're going to go ahead and let him take second base. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. He was never going to swing at that pitch. That was a take it all the way kind of situation, I believe. And Sampini strikes out. Big strikeout. That kills the rally for the Wenatchee AppleSox. And we go to the top of the ninth inning with the score, the Bellingham Bells 5 and the Wenatchee AppleSox 4. We'll be right back.
Make at least a minimum monthly payment. And don't forget to check.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chafe on the other side. We can move this on to lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
And we are back on a chilly June evening here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. We're to the top of the ninth inning. The Bellingham Bells leading the Wenatchee AppleSox 5-4. 5 runs, 9 hits, and an error for Bellingham. The AppleSox 4 runs on 9 hits and 3 errors. And we'll see if those errors will play a big role in that. Again, big Connor Ashworth from Brewster. Brewster was honored here. The Brewster high school baseball team, of course, won their state championship this year. They were honored before the game. Some of them are still here. There are some brave souls here, but the crowd has thinned out quite a bit here. Once the sun went down, the temperature dropped. Well, it dropped lower than a Gophers basement, quite frankly. So it is, I'm not going to lie to you, I am cold. Cole Hage leads off here in the top of the ninth inning, looking for some insurance runs for the Bellingham Bells. First pitch high and outside for a ball. Ashworth is going to have to be a workhorse here. There is one player warming up in the AppleSox bullpen. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell you who it is, but AppleSox are going to have to start conserving some arms as well. Both teams have gone through the pitchers so far tonight. Timeout called. And the 1-0, swing and a miss. Bit of a change up there. Evens the count at 1-1. Cole Hage, a Ivy Leaguer, goes to Columbia. You don't see this too often. He's from Fargo, North Dakota, and he goes to Columbia University in Morningside Heights in New York City. Don't see that too often. 1-2 the count. Ball's ripped and deep, and it is gone. Home run for Cole Hage. Got up in that jet stream. It's been very windy all day. There was no wind in the forecast at all, but the wind blows right to where he hit it, right over the Confluence Health, and that makes the Confluence Health sign, and that makes the score 6-4. Bellingham. That was a grooved pitch. He hit it right on the number, and poor Enzo Apodaca, who's been very busy out there in center field, had no chance to get that. So now it's a 2-run lead for the Bellingham Bells. And look who's back. It's Eric Grandstrom. You just missed a home run, Eric. Actually, maybe you didn't miss a home run. Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Hope everything is okay on your end.
Apologies.
No, it's quite all right. I am wishing I had brought my glasses. But I'm laboring through. While you were gone, the AppleSox ended up with runners on the corners. I'm sorry, I didn't keep the book in the bottom half of the inning. AppleSox had runners on the corners. Didn't quite pan out. Big strikeout to end the inning, and you just missed a home run from
was it Cole Haig?
Cole Haig hit a home run.
Second of the night.
Yep, right over the Confluence Health sign.
Okay.
Well struck. And now it's a 6-4 ball game in the top of the 9th inning.
This pitch swung on and grounded to the first baseman right there, Luke Stuka. He'll take it to the bag himself and retire Jack Van Remortel. So 3 unassisted on the put out there, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Christopher Campos. Thanks, Dan.
No, I had a good time. I haven't done that in about 25 years.
I forgot about your glasses. So close up like me, or far away?
When I golf or drive, I'm supposed to wear glasses, so I can read this. I can read anything in front of my face.
Yeah, just out there, you can't see numbers or anything.
Yeah,
like
once
that.
it goes to about 5 or 6 feet outside of my face, everything's a big blur.
Connor Ashworth continuing to pitch for the AppleSox. And quickly ahead here of Christopher Campos, 0-2 with 1 down here in the 9th. 1 run in, 6-4 ball game. Bellingham on top. The 0-2 pitch on the way by Ashworth is swung on and lifted in the right side and down foul and out of play. And the count stays at 0-2 on Campos here for the Bells.
Looks like the Sox have a couple of pitchers up, but I was speculating while you were gone, Eric. I think this is going to be his game, win or lose. I think he's going to finish it out. They got to conserve some arms.
Yeah, because you got 2 more games coming up here this weekend. Here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, this pitch misses away for a ball.
So I think Connor's going to stay in this game to the end.
Could be. Could also, we're in the top of the 9th inning, by the way, so evens the count to Campos here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, tomorrow night, 6:35 game time, and then 1:05 on Sunday for Dad's Day. This pitch swung on, and that's going to drop in for a base hit to right center. So 2nd hit of the inning. The 3rd inning of relief here for Connor Ashworth, who came in for Riley Sinclair back in the 7th inning.
Pretty much just been varying his speeds, not a lot of movement. He's basically fastball, changeup. When he's trying to put any kind of action on it, it's not finding the strike zone particularly well.
Well, Cresswell is up there now for Bellingham, looking for his first. Well, no, he's actually got a hit on the night. He's 1 for 4.
And they're bringing in the lefty, so I guess he won't be finishing out the game.
So much for all of that supposition. So with a pitching change made, we'll get a change here on the broadcast and take a quick break, come back, and we'll tell you who the reliever is for Mr. Ashworth, as it's a 6-4 ball game, top of the 9th inning, 1 run in. Bellingham still batting. We're coming up back next here on the NCW Life Channel.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu, because we work to get you to work.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Well, welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Again, the jersey numbers are not matching the rosters, so we're going to have to do a little research and development here to figure out the left-hander that's taking over on the mound now for the Wenatchee AppleSox, as we have a runner at first base for Bellingham, 1 run in, 1 out, and Will Cresswell stepping to the plate. And this pitch bounces all the way to the backstop, and that'll allow the runner from first to go to second, Campos, on a wild pitch. So the first pitch from our new hurler on the mound. Not, I'm sure, what he wanted for his first pitch of the ball game, as it sails wide and goes all the way past Simperi, the catcher for the AppleSox. So 1-0 the count here to Will Cresswell, the catcher for Bellingham, in what has become a 2-run ball game again. Shin is the new pitcher. This pitch is a check swing, and the umpire says he went around. And the count even at a ball and a strike. The ball got away from the catcher, so I don't know if he said that was a foul ball. Could have been. So Gianluca Shin is now on the mound here for Wenatchee. Next pitch misses for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. See if we can find out more information about Mr. Luca. Or Shin, I should say. Gianluca Shin. 6'2", 205-pounder out of the University of Washington. Sophomore for the Huskies. Taking over on the mound here for Connor Ashworth as we're in the top of the 9th inning. The 2-1 pitch by Shin is in there for a strike, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shin 1-0 for the AppleSox. This is his second appearance. He pitched in a win against Springfield, pitched an inning. He did give up 2 runs in that 1 inning of work, so his ERA right now kind of inflated at 18 as he comes in here tonight. Ashworth, by the way, 2 1/3 innings of relief here for the AppleSox. The 2-2 pitch by Shin. Fastball away for ball 3. Bellingham made some defensive changes in that last half inning after some pinch hitting. They had 3 pinch hitters come in the 8th offensively, so we'll see if they're sticking with those guys in those positions. Both benches or both teams have a lot of guys on the roster, so there's a lot of places they could go. 3-2 the count to Cresswell here with a runner at second base and 1 out, 1 run in. The pitch swung on and hit towards the shortstop. Right there, Oyama. They're going to get a rundown between third and second. And the tag will be made as he goes out of the base path, finally by Oyama. So it will be 6-4, 5-6 on the putout. So Cresswell gets aboard on the fielder's choice. 6-4, 5-4 for the second out of the inning. So Cresswell's down at first base. And Schultz, who came in a pinch hit role, will stay in there and bat for the second time around. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Pitch by Shin. Bounces in. Nice stop by Semperi. And the count 1-0 to Schultz. Gavin Schultz out of Tulane, a sophomore from New Orleans, Louisiana. In the batter's box here for Bellingham. The 1-0 pitch is low and inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Gianluca Shin from Menlo Park, California. In his one inning, had a couple of walks. And he's got, well, the fielder's choice to his credit so far in this one. Pitch on the way to the plate is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-1 to Schultz. Two teams meet again tomorrow here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium at 6:35 tomorrow night. And then again Sunday they'll wrap up the 6 games in 6 days between these two teams. Sunday afternoon at 1:05. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's bouncing in again. Nice stop by Semperi, but this is going to allow the runner to go down to second base. A wild pitch is charged to Shin, and the count runs to 3-1 to Schultz. We will forego a post-game show. We are quickly, in fact, we should be in the news hour. So just a heads up to Tucker Wagner back in the studio to be on the lookout for ad insertion module if we get too late here. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off the catchers. So the count now runs full to Schultz at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Suddenly the PA system got deafeningly loud here at the ballpark. I think everybody's fingers are frozen. 3-2 the count to Schultz. Shin ready with a runner at second. And the pitch by the left-hander on the way to the plate is a little inside for ball 4. So that'll put runners at first and second base. And let's see if Daniel Gernon will be the hitter or if they decide to do something else. Let's see. Gernon is scheduled to bat. And it is Daniel Gernon. So,
How about it, Daniel Gernon?
1-run ball game. Maybe a little tomfoolery coming up here. Adam Gieselin, the head coach for Bellingham, has a word with Gernon. Runners from first and second will hold. The pitch to the plate is low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Gernon in the ball game is 0 for 3 tonight. Ground outs. He got aboard on an error. He flew out and he walked in his last plate appearance in the 8th. This pitch is in for a strike, and the count evens to Gernon at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, we'll forego a post-game show here on the NCW Life channel because we're running awfully late here tonight as this game is now approaching 3.5 hours long. The 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on a missed, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So Shin is that close to keeping it a 1-run ball game, or a 2-run ball game, I should say. And that close to giving the AppleSox a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-2 the count to Gernon. Runners at first and second, 1 run in on a home run by Cole Haig, his second of the night. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way to the plate. It's bouncing in for a ball, and the count even now to Gernon at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gernon back in there. Sheehan is ready. And the 2-2 pitch is high, goes all the way to the backstop, and that will keep the runners where they are because it caromed off the backstop and came right back to Semperi. Count runs full now to Gernon at 3-2. Gianluca Shin trying to figure out a way to throw a strike here. And the pitch to the plate is swung on and missed, and boy, that was in the dirt. He swung at ball 4. It will work in the AppleSox favor, but 1 run is in. They leave a couple aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Some work to do. Bellingham 6, Wenatchee 4. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCW Life Channel.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
Well, Nate Mendoza is on the mound for Bellingham here as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Enzo Apodaca, Matthew Hallback, and Michael Davini due up here for the AppleSox. And they're part of the 9th, and some work to do as they trail it 6-4 here against Bellingham. Again, the Bells had a run in the first on a couple of hits. Run in the third on 2 hits. Home run in the 5th to make it 3-0 at that point. Wenatchee came back in the bottom of the 6th to score 2, but then Bellingham got 2 back in the 7th to make it 4-2. Sox scored 2 in the 7th. And another home run for Bellingham in the 9th. So it's a 6-4 ball game as we get into the bottom of the 9th inning. Enzo Apodaca, who is 2 for 3, scored a couple of runs, leads it off, and the first pitch to him is taken for a strike, and the count 0-1 here to Enzo Apodaca. Again, Nate Mendoza is on the mound, right-hander here for Bellingham. Mendoza is a junior out of Cal State San Bernardino. This pitch misses for a ball, 1-1 the count. Well, you heard it from Connor Vassar, or excuse me, Quincy Vassar here earlier tonight when he joined us on the broadcast, that a win tonight would do so much as a shot in the arm for the AppleSox. This pitch taken for a strike, curveball in there, 1-2 the count. Vinny Mariana, our home plate umpire, saying, yep, that's a strike, all right. So the count runs to 1-2 on Apodaca. Pitch on the way, swung on and hit the opposite way for a base hit. Sox get the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Third hit of the night for Enzo, and welcome back to the AppleSox here this summer to Enzo Apodaca. Matthew Hallbeck, who's had a great night as well in his debut for the AppleSox, steps up. He is 3 for 4 on the night with 2 singles, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Hallback up and ready, and Mendoza with the pitch to the plate, swung on and missed, and the count 0-1 on Hallback. Wind still whistling out to right field here at the ballpark. Chilly nights here in Wenatchee. Pitch to the plate is swung on and fouled back, and barely missing that one was Hallback, and the count 0-2 on the Sox left fielder. Michael Davini, who is still trying to get his first hit of the night, waiting on deck for Wenatchee, trying to extend his hit streak to 13 West Coast League games in a row. The 0-2 pitch to Hallback is on the way, and it's swung on and missed, a high cheese, and he couldn't lay off of that one, so 1 down here in the 9th for the Sox, and that'll bring up Michael Davini. Davini grounded into a 6-3 putout in the 7th. That scored a run for Wenatchee. the second of 2 runs in the 7th. That brought it to a 1-run game at that point, 5-4. But then Bellingham with a home run in the top of the 9th to make it 6-4. And that's where we are right now with 1 down and 1 on. Toss to the bag at first to get Apodaca to stay close. Davini in the right-handed batter's box facing Nate Mendoza. The first pitch misses high for a ball. 1-0 the count. Wenatchee trying to will themselves into maybe a walk-off win here or extend the game. The 1-0 pitch on the way to the plate is a curveball, and that's in there for a strike, and the count even to Davini at 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore from Coastal Carolina. Came into the game tonight batting .400, second on the team in batting. Trying to get his first base hit of the night. Here comes the 1-1 pitch on the way to the plate. Swung on a miss, and boy, that's a hefty fastball, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Nate Mendoza trying to shut the door right here. This pitch swung on and barely getting a piece of that and fouling it off on the first base side is Davini. Mendoza gets the sign from Cresswell. And the right-handers 1-2 pitch on the way is a curveball. Strike 3 cold. Gone looking is Davini. He has a couple of words with a home plate umpire, Vinny Mariana. 2 down in the inning here for the AppleSox. And down to it. Mendoza, by the way, making his 3rd appearance. He has 7 strikeouts coming into tonight. Add 2 more here in the 9th inning. Trying to close the door for the Bells. Cole Miller at the plate. And the first pitch to him is a strike called. 0-1 the count to Cole. Miller with an RBI double 3 innings ago in the 6th. He's 1 for 3 on the night. Can he find some 2-out magic here? Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's swung on and fouled away on a hefty fastball, and now the Sox are down to their final strike. Cole Miller trying to keep a heartbeat alive here for Wenatchee. Again at first base, Enzo Apodaca, who started the inning off with a base hit. He's still over there at first. Here comes the 0-2 pitch on the way to the plate, high, and he stays off of that one as he twists away from it. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Daniel Kuntz joins us back on the broadcast here.
Just want to remind everybody to stay close for a special 2-hour post-game show here from Paul Thomas Senior Field.
You just caused our camera people to just absolutely hate you right now. The pitch on the way, swung on, and fouling it back is Cole Miller. We should say stand by for local news here coming up.
Yeah, we're kind of stepping on our news a little bit.
Yeah, we are.
Allie was just telling me, the general manager here, they did a game in Walla Walla last year or 2 years ago that went 20-some-odd innings, finished at 3 in the morning.
Oh, goodness. No curfew at Burlesque?
Not that I know of.
Oh, man. 1-2 the count here. Pitch on the way to the plate is a curveball, missing low, just barely. Evens the count to Miller at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't... How is Matthew Ortiz?
He's hanging in.
Lasting right now.
He's wearing a
He's in
t-shirt.
shirt sleeves, folks.
Well, our friend out in center field camera is wearing shorts.
Oh, goodness. 2-2 count to Cole Miller. Mendoza with the pitch, swung on and lifted in the air to shallow right field. Coming in, the right fielder is going to catch it. I think the wind kind of held that one up. And that'll do it here for the AppleSox as they fall to the Bellingham Bells by a final of 6-4. That's going to wrap up our broadcast as well. Thanks to everybody involved with it here tonight, to Caleb Plank, to Matthew Ortiz, to Malcolm Whitehall, to Tucker Wagner, and to Dan Kuntz, and to Rachel Mandelas. We can't forget the Magic Rachel there behind home plate. I'm Eric Granstrom. Again, our final here tonight is the Bellingham Bells over Wenatchee 6-4. Don't forget, more baseball coming up tomorrow at 6:35 and then Sunday at 1:05 here at the ballpark. Thanks for watching and have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for exclusive coverage of the Wenatchee AppleSox on the NCW Life Channel, your local TV station. Today's game has been brought to you by AmeriCorps, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Burgers and Brew, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, JDSA Law, Mini Blinds and more. Together for Youth, That Pizza Place in Cashburn, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. This has been a special presentation of NCW Life Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Well, like most big events, the Wenatchee Pride Festival has been on hiatus for the last 2 years thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. This Saturday marks the festival's return to Memorial Park in Wenatchee, starting at 11 a.m. In tonight's feature story, Ashley Peterson is the volunteer coordinator for the event, which features live music, youth events, food, and a beer garden, and more. She spoke with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz.
We started planning probably around December, January, in hopes, fingers crossed, that we would be able to do it. And I'd say it's probably like February, March when things, like the rules kind of lightened up a whole lot as far as the CDC's guidelines. And we're like, okay, let's charge. We are here to be a support system for the queer community, which there are a lot of people in the North Central Washington that are a part of it. And we're trying to create safe spaces, lots of events 365 days out of the year rather than only in June. So during 2020 and 2021, when we weren't doing the festival, we really put effort into making sure that we're doing like a monthly teen night, monthly events like Queerioke out in Rock Island, which was a blast. And we're looking forward and doing like a queer prom in the fall. We want to do a gala for the volunteers. We want to really start doing more things throughout the entire year to create that comfort zone for the community.
Are you making headway? Or do you feel like you're fighting the winds sometimes, or are you doing good?
For the most part, we're doing really good. There's occasionally we'll reach out and be like, hey, we want to do this. And they're like, no, thanks. And we just keep going. But a lot of it's been people reaching out to us and saying, hey, we want to do something in our business. And we're like, awesome, let's do it. Whatever you want to do, let's go. I have booked music for years. I used to book music at the Beer Garden down in Leavenworth for a long time. So I called on friends a lot. I got Bree from Devil's Gulch and the Missionaries and her crew to kind of come in and committee lead for us. So Bree and Jessica have really gone above and beyond to help organize the stage, get the lineup ready. We have Snatchy Records helping out with the sound system, and they're all donating their time.
Everybody's volunteering.
Everybody's volunteering, and it's been phenomenal and very seamless and easy to do.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast with the weekend now in sight for us. First, let's talk about today a little bit. Unofficial high temperature, 69 degrees out there. So that was 9 degrees below where we should be for this time of year at 78. Record for the second day in a row going all the way back to 1961 at 105 degrees. As far as lows go, perfect for this time of year. 44 is our record low in 1981. We did pick up 1/100th of an inch of rain over the past 24 hours, and that now gets us to 522. 5:03 sunrise this morning and sunset 9 o'clock. Let's take a look now as we get you into Saturday and the weekend, how our temperatures look. And temperature-wise, it's not going to be all that great. We're going to be unseasonably cool as we start off our weekend. Upper 60s for Ephrata and Moses Lake, 67 Quincy. Also Wenatchee, we should see 67, and then just a little bit cooler as we get into the higher elevations for tomorrow. As far as tonight goes, expect mostly cloudy skies. It's mostly from this area of low pressure that's now over Montana. We're getting that wraparound cloudiness that is coming into parts of the state. For Saturday, we're going to continue with mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be cool too, a 40% chance of rain tomorrow, and high temperatures only in the mid-60s. So starting off the weekend a little bit cool. For Father's Day then, maybe a morning sprinkle or two. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon. It's going to be breezy on Sunday too, with high temperatures near 70. And then I'll tell you, as we get you into Monday, more of a summer-like weather pattern. Area of high pressure bringing all of that subtropic warmth our direction. Going to be warmer on Monday with high temperatures in the mid-70s. So a great start to the week. And how about the first day of summer on Tuesday? Mostly sunny and warmer, clear all over the west. We are going to see high temperatures in the lower 80s, so actually above normal for temperatures, and we haven't said that much this spring. For Wednesday, still nice, a little breezy though, mostly sunny. We'll see high temperatures still hovering around that 80-degree mark on Wednesday. And then by the end of our forecast, as we get you into Thursday, mostly sunny skies. Our high pressure area gets kind of squeezed out a little bit, and that'll allow a northwesterly flow. Going to cool us off, but not a lot. We're expecting high temperatures on Thursday into the mid-70s. Now recap, 7-day forecast, 52 degrees overnight tonight. Cool and mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of rain on Saturday. Maybe a morning shower, giving way to breezy conditions on Father's Day. And here is our beautiful weather. Next week, Monday, we'll start off at 76, 81 Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday, and your high temperature by Thursday with mostly sunny skies at 75 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and our weekly community calendar of upcoming events as the NCW Life Evening News continues right after this.
It's the Community Calendar, brought to you by Clean Connection. Blossom Creek and Blossom Valley presents the second annual Bike Around the Building fundraiser on Saturday, June 25th from noon to 3 p.m. Everyone is invited to bike, walk, run, scoot, or skate around the campus of Blossom Valley and Blossom Creek. Plus, there will be music and games for the kids and great prizes to be raffled off. It's all part of The Longest Day, the annual Alzheimer's Association fundraiser to raise awareness for the fight against Alzheimer's. For more information and to RSVP, call Rhonda at 509-608-3667.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
It's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Friday to you. The stars were shining for Los Angeles last night as the Angels blanked the Mariners 4-0 at T-Mobile Park. Mike Trout hit not one but two two-run home runs, and Shohei Ohtani, money on the mound, pitching 6 shutout innings as the Halos won the first of 5 games scheduled between Los Angeles and Seattle.
There's a fastball that he punishes out to deep right field. Trammell back, and it's gone!
and going the other way for Trout. You don't see him hit many home runs to right field. You see him hit a lot of home runs in this field. But that's a fastball. Stayed on it. Hits it the other way. Halos up 2-0. By the way, I picked Trout today. Home run block.
Oh, click.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
1-1 pitch. Trout sends that one high and deep out to center field. Rodriguez back, feeling for the wall. The second of the night for Mike Trout. Got him this time. Another 2-run shot. 4-0 Halos.
What a swing for Trout. A big add-on run. That time he got a fastball. So that's 2 home runs today for Trout on fastballs.
Here's JP as we get back to the top of the order. Line drive into the corner. Devo can run. He'll score on this. JP. He'll get the second. Dillon coming around. There'll be no throw. An RBI double, and the Mariners are finally on the board. It's 4-1 Angels. JP with a ringing double. His 13th double, his 16th RBI.
1-2 to Toro. Got him swinging.
That is a nasty splitter from Raisel Iglesias. We always think of Shohei's splitter, but Iglesias' splitter is dominant also. It's that punch out, couple punching out the sides in this inning for Raisel Iglesias. Iggy getting Iggy with it.
Yeah, George Kirby got the start for Seattle and took the loss, but manager Scott Servais says it was his best outing of his career.
George Kirby was outstanding. Was probably his best outing as a Mariner, quite frankly. And the quality of pitches, I think it was 80% first pitch strikes. He threw, I think, well over 20 curveballs. George was outstanding. He just gave up the 2-run homer to Mr. Trout, and 6 strong innings, but 2 runs. And with what Ohtani was throwing out there tonight, it certainly was a challenge. Ohtani was on his game, no doubt. All of these sliders and, obviously a really good fastball to work in to keep you honest, and along with the split fingers. So, rough night offensively, certainly in the early going against Ohtani. I thought Gino actually had pretty good swings against him. Suarez had a couple hits and then just missed a hanging slider that was caught, left field. And that happens. You're going to get just a few pitches to do some damage against Ohtani, and we weren't able to get much going there. So, again, credit to him. He's a really good pitcher, and unfortunately, Mr. Trout took care of business tonight.
Eugenio Suarez picked up 2 of Seattle's 4 hits on the night. J.P. Crawford drove in the only run. 2 teams meet again tonight, 7:10. Robbie Ray facing Michael Lorenzen. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. Well, turning to other American League West play, Oakland salvaged the final game of its series with Boston with a 4-3 win. Christian Bethancourt's 2-run single highlighted a 3-run third for the A's. Esquivel Duran's 3-run triple in the top of the 9th inning gave Texas a come-from-behind 3-1 win over Detroit. Tigers have now lost 5 straight. Turning to local sports, Bellingham completed a 3-game sweep of Wenatchee at Joe Martin Field last night with a 5-0 shutout. Ryan Mullen was the hard-luck loser on the mound for the AppleSox. He tossed 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, allowing just 1 run. Voice of the AppleSox, Joel Norman, says it's not that Wenatchee didn't have scoring chances in the ballgame.
But for the first time since 2014, the Wenatchee AppleSox are swept by the Bellingham Bells as Bellingham takes all 3 games against the AppleSox at Joe Martin Field. It concluded on Thursday night with a heartbreaker for Wenatchee. They had foot traffic in just about every inning, but would ultimately lose 5-0. It was a 1-0 ball game going into the bottom of the 7th inning, and then Bellingham added 4 runs in the bottom half and a couple of AppleSox errors as they sent 10 men to the plate. Each of the first 4 of the inning reached base safely. Heartbreaking for the Sox because there were so many chances offensively, hit into 4 double plays, and the loss overshadowed a great effort on the mound by Ryan Mullen, incoming freshman at Loyola Marymount. In his second start of the summer, he tossed a season-high 5 innings, struck out 7, only allowed 3 hits, only walked 1, but allowed the 1 run that was enough for the game-winning run. The AppleSox are looking for their offense to pick up. They have scored 1 run in their last 3 games. It was a 6th-inning RBI single with 2 outs on Wednesday by Grant Sherrod. They've got to get something going as they return home to face the Bells Friday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium at 6:35 p.m. Wenatchee will be sporting their brand new powder blue jerseys. First time they'll be wearing those. They'll also wear them on Sunday for Father's Day at 1:05 against the Bells. With your AppleSox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel, or should we say Dancing Queen. Michael Davini continued his hitting streak with another couple of hits. The sophomore from Coastal Carolina has hit safely in all 12 of the Wenatchee's West Coast League games so far this season. As Joel mentioned, the Sox return home tonight, sporting their new powder blue uniforms to host the Bells. We'll have it live here on the NCW Live channel. Join us for the pregame coming up at 6:30, the first pitch at 6:35. Other West Coast League baseball last night, Corvallis Duke Brotherton struck out 7 over 5 innings and combined with 3 relievers on a 3-hit shutout of Cowlitz, 9-0 the final. Tyler Quinn had a triple, scored twice, and drove in 2 runs for the Knights in that one. Colton Moore was 3 for 5 with 2 runs and 2 RBI to lead Victoria over Kamloops 8-3. Clayton Loringer was 2 for 5 with 3 runs and 2 ribbies to help Edmonton edge Ridgefield 13-12. The two teams combined for 6 doubles on the night. Golden Tate extended his hitting streak to 3 games, but Ben was the better team on the night. In Port Angeles, as the Elks beat the Lefties 9-0. Paul Myro IV was the hitting star for Ben, going 3 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI. Jalen Ray led a 2-run rally in the 7th to break a 2-all tie as Springfield beat Yakima Valley 5-2. Ray finished 3 for 4 in the game with 2 runs and an RBI. Non-league action last night, Fidanzi Anthony pitched 5 scoreless innings for Walla Walla as the Sweets topped the Northwest Star Academy 8-1. Dalton Mashore mashed a grand slam home run in an 8-run 6th inning as the Pickles beat the Gherkins in Portland 10-2 the final there. You can get the updated standings and much more on our website, ncwlife.com. Baseball coming up. We'll see you for that. And if you are just heading out for the weekend, have a safe weekend. We'll see you on Monday. And back to this guy over here. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that is going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life channel.
Dave Tosh, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Today I'm joined by Leah Dillman, who is a coordinator locally with Catholic Charities and actually covers Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties. And so you've got some programs, really interesting programs that are going to appeal to seniors, and we'd like to talk a bit about that. But let's talk about your roles as they are right now.
Okay. So currently I am the Volunteer Services Coordinator for Catholic Charities, and Volunteer Services helps low-income seniors and adults with disabilities remain in their homes by providing volunteers who are willing to help them with chores. So we help with things like transportation, yard work, housework, just really anything that's going to help them maintain their independence safely and with dignity, help them stay comfortable in their spaces. And anyone who volunteers with that program, they can be any age or income level. The people who receive those services are low-income seniors who are 50 and older or adults with disabilities. So we just do an intake with anyone who's interested in receiving our services. They can call over the phone and I'll talk with them and make sure they qualify for our program. And if they do, we can get a volunteer to help them with whatever needs they might have.
What would be that phone number they could call?
We have a few. You could call the Catholic Charities main line, which I don't have memorized, but my phone number is 509-293-8365, and that will go to my desk.
And if they were wanting to email?
They can email me. It's a long one. It's ldillman@catholiccharities.cw.org.
But it's probably best they just look it up on the website. That's all right there.
Yes, it is. That'd be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that you're working on a new program. I say it's new. It may not be new to you.
It is new, yeah.
But the Senior Companions program.
Yes. So this one I'm really excited about. So this program is very relational based, and one of the motivations is just reducing loneliness and helping people feel like they have some companionship and reducing the isolation that seniors can sometimes feel as they age. So anyone 55 and older who makes up to 200% of the federal poverty limit can be a senior companion volunteer. And the benefit of that program is that you actually get paid to volunteer. It's $3 an hour plus any mileage. And it doesn't count against anything like Social Security or disability, or if you receive SNAP benefits, it's not taxable income at all. So it's a way for seniors who maybe they're living on Social Security, but it would be nice for them to have a little extra income. They can earn income while volunteering.
So you're with Catholic Charities, and I know that that's where a lot of the funding's coming from. Could you just describe a little bit about that organization? And do you have to be Catholic in order to take advantage of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our two programs receive funding from the state, so they're grant funded by the state. Now we umbrella under Catholic Charities. So for instance, I office there, and the headquarters for Catholic Charities in this area is in Yakima, so my supervisors are there. But again, we receive our funding from the state, and so we are able to and required to help anyone, doesn't matter your religious affiliation or anything like that. And Catholic Charities overall, a lot of their funding does come from the state. They do get funding from the Catholic Church as well, but as an entity that receives funding from the state, they help anyone from any background or religious faith. Lots of people who work at Catholic Charities aren't Catholic, and again, we would serve anyone, regardless of ethnicity, background, race, religion, anything like that.
So I know you work with a lot of various organizations in the community, Aging and Adult Care, we mentioned that, but I also know that you work with AmeriCorps and some of their volunteers. So talk a little bit about that part of it.
Yeah, so I do have a couple of volunteers that work with volunteer services who are also volunteers for RSVP, which is Retired Senior Volunteer Corps with Karen Brugman, and that is an AmeriCorps program. Now, Senior Companions is also an AmeriCorps program, so it's Senior AmeriCorps. So I do envision that we'll work even more closely with RSVP and the RSVP program, because we both are funded with the Senior Companion money through AmeriCorps.
So you work with a lot of organizations right here in the community, which I think is great, because there are a lot of services out there. But as you said, there's also a lot of gaps, and we're trying to fill in some of those gaps.
Yes.
That's where the volunteers come in.
Exactly.
It all makes sense to me. But so again, if they need to reach out to you, the best way to contact you would be what?
Probably just call my desk line, which is 509-293-8365.
And your website?
You could go to the Catholic Charities main website. My email address is ldillman@catholiccharities.cw.org.
Okay. Well, Leah, I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us today. I think that was very enlightening as to some of the programs that are ongoing, and we're trying to get off the ground during these difficult times. So
yeah, thanks for having me, Dave.
Thank you.
You are driven to succeed. This drive is part of who you are, part of your cultura, your valores. With achievement comes a sense of orgullo. It builds your community. You stand on the shoulders of those who have walked before you, the ones who pushed you to succeed. You have the choice to overcome the challenges that arise in your life. You decide your future. Sí se puede.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience the newly expanded Cycle Chelan, held June 25th, 2022. Pick your thrill from 4 rides: the Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, the Lake Loop, or the Butte Blast. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan 2022. Pick your thrill today.
Are you ready to freshen up your home? Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom is filled with high-quality furniture that's always discounted to give you their best price every day. Boswell's is receiving new furniture deliveries each week, so you'll be sure to find just what you need for your home without the wait. Complimentary design assistance and free local delivery. Superior customer service and the best value for your money. Start at Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Dave Tosh, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and today I'm joined by Christina Barone from Link Transit. She's the Planning and Development Manager, been there since September of this last year. And you got some really interesting stuff coming up, and I imagine from what it sounds like you're pretty busy right now.
You bet, we are very busy right now, but it's all exciting.
So it's one of those things where the community has kind of provided their input on where they want to go, and you're putting a plan together to go there. There was a tax increase not too long ago to help with some of the expenses. So tell us, where are we headed right now? What's the big picture where you're trying to go?
Yeah, okay, well that's a great question. Let me back up a little bit. So there's been a few exciting things that we've been able to implement since our sales tax increase. That passed in August of 2019. So we've added Sunday service. We've also been able to expand some service later into the evening, earlier in the morning, those types of things. But also, over the last 18 months or so, we've looked pretty closely at community needs. We've taken a look at how our routes are performing and really try to get an understanding of how we can make the system work better for more people. So we have a big service redesign that we're planning for July of 2022.
Yep.
And it's really the first phase of service increases that we're planning. So it redesigns the system. Our goal is that it works better for more people. There's places, especially in the urban area, where buses are arriving more often, getting people to jobs, getting people to services, shopping, all those sorts of things. Providing service kind of more directly so that trips are faster for people. We're adding new things like express service between Leavenworth and Wenatchee that we're super excited about. Up in Chelan, some new circulators to allow people to get around the community a little more easily. Better connections to the Walmart up in Chelan. We're also adding some service to new places in the community too, and we're really excited about that. So that includes the Saddle Rock Trailhead, some more service in South Wenatchee and kind of the Boudry Street area. Also adding service in Leavenworth to some more destinations like the Ski Hill, down to the Sleeping Lady Resort as well, so kind of better circulation there, and some new service in Chelan Falls as well.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty exciting stuff. We're eager to kind of get it out there for the community.
So as I understand it, there's going to be a survey that people can take part in. And can you talk a little bit about what those dates are and how somebody could participate in that survey?
Yeah, absolutely. So our survey is open from January 24th through February 18th. It has information about kind of what the routes look like, what some draft schedules are for each of those routes, and we're really hoping for people's feedback about whether those proposals work for them. So the online survey, that you can get to it through a link on our website. Kind of a more direct link is www.linktransit.com/movingforward. We'll also have information on our social media. We'll have information on our buses up at transit centers, and overall just trying to get the word out. But absolutely, we really hope for people's feedback. We still have the opportunity to make some changes if we need to before everything's final.
So I know that in our community, especially here at the Senior Center, the folks love anything that's free. Can you talk about now the free service with Link and maybe go into a little bit of detail about how that came about and what you think is going to happen in the future with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're super excited to be in a one-year zero fare pilot program right now. We did a lot of analysis kind of looking at whether that made sense for us to do. We stopped collecting fares as a result of COVID. And decided just through looking at a bunch of things like kind of the revenue that we were collecting, then also what we were spending to collect fares, and also considering just kind of low-income people in our community and, you know, ways to just kind of help people get around. And decided to start this one-year zero fare pilot that's letting us kind of evaluate the impacts on our system. And my hope is that we're able to continue it moving out into the future, but those will be some conversations with our board coming up in the next few months, and we'll make a decision about what to do. But in the meantime, I think it's really great for our community.
Well, apparently there's a lot going on at Link, and it's a great service. I mean, I've been at the Senior Center now for over 8 years. And I just know that many of our members appreciate that service, and that's how they get to the Senior Center for many of the things that they participate in, including our lunch program. So and we, the Senior Center, has no transportation to help our seniors. Mm-hmm. So Link is extremely important in our community, particularly for the seniors, and I want to thank you for all the services you provide.
Oh, thank you so much.
And thanks for spending a few minutes with us today.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You are driven to succeed. This drive is part of who you are, part of your cultura, your valores. With achievement comes a sense of orgullo. It builds your community. You stand on the shoulders of those who have walked before you, the ones who pushed you to succeed. You have the choice to overcome the challenges that arise in your life. You decide your future. Sí se puede.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino is the perfect place to meet in East Wenatchee. The Old West theme takes you back in time with casino gambling and poker tables. And now you can play the best games on or off the tables. Stop by and check out the new game room. All your favorite games and extended late night hours makes the Clearwater your best bet for a great time. And if time slips away having so much fun, stay the night next door at the Cedars Inn. It's all here nightly at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino in East Wenatchee.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Dave Tosh, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and today I'm joined by Jack and Angela Charlton. Jack and I haven't known each other very long, but I know quite a bit about Jack, and it has to do with my upbringing in Kashmir and some connections there. But the interesting part that I found out is that Jack started out with our original senior center and was working with the Council on Aging. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I enjoy the history and how we've evolved over the years. I know that there was a facility that was connected to the YMCA down on Orondo Street. That's and there was a little building that was called the Annex. Right. And that's where the senior center started. So talk a little more about some of that history.
I was brought into town from Pullman. I've been living in Pullman, my wife and I, and actually we had one son, and Aaron was born shortly after we arrived in Wenatchee. But I was hired by the Council on Aging to be the Council on Aging director, and actually there was just a senior center is all it was at that time, but they had plans to try and develop it from there. There was other program needs that needed to be developed, and so we set about doing that. We first got an RSVP grant and hired some people there and started developing that program, which was really needed. There was a lot of volunteers and a lot of people that needed to volunteer or would like to but didn't have the way to. And this RSVP program expanded quite rapidly. And then we started a nutrition program and started providing meals around different places. We bought Tony's restaurant down across from the banks on Wenatchee Avenue. We turned that into where we had one meal a day there, and we cooked all of our meals. And we delivered them throughout the area. We delivered to Leavenworth, Cashmere, Waterville from here. And we then even dabbled a little bit on transportation, trying to get some transportation programs going. But that wasn't as successful as what we would have liked to, but it was needed a little more money. And the area agency started about that time in the state of Washington, and they were going to develop one here for the 6 counties. And we decided, or I decided, that I'd like to be that position, and so the agency started out at the college and was out there for over 10 years, and it was under the continued education department, and I worked for Ed Hill, and was hired there, and we had actually a double-wide trailer out there behind Wells House, and we started programs there with case management, and we got the amount of dollars was roughly $3 million that we then allocated on contracts for different services throughout the 6 county. Now, a little bit of a unique part of this, and I'll just dabble on this for a second, is contracts always used to be put out on a grant basis. And you didn't necessarily know what you were going to get with the end product that you put out the dollars for. Yeah. So we put everything on a unit rate reimbursement. And so all of our contracts, whether it be for case management or transportation or meals, they got reimbursed only if they provided a unit of service, which was kind of unique for the state of Washington. And we had to go back. I mentioned Pat Fitzgerald earlier. We went back to Michigan and trained area agencies back there on how to do that. So from there, I thought we were going to get rich, and so we bought a couple athletic stores and moved into that. And that was we left. I started there in 1976. Started here in 71. So. Yeah. And it's developed a lot from that. I think the Area Agency on Aging now is called the
Aging and Adult Care.
And Adult Care. And I think they were located in Douglas County at one time, and I'm not sure where they're located now. But
well, they are in Douglas County. I think they cover 5 counties.
6. There's still 6
counties now. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's always been 6. Okay.
Yeah, we travel, but believe me, we had to go out. Yeah.
It's a big area to cover. You mentioned, just so I'll interject a moment, the young lady by the name of Erin. That's your daughter.
Yes.
And that's Erin Cass. And Erin obviously is well known in our community. She's right now involved with the SAIL program, and everybody that's a senior pretty much knows what that is. But I thought it was interesting, the connection, that you started out working with seniors, and now Erin has had a lot of involvement with our area seniors. So kind of interesting that way. So yeah, I mean, the senior center, a lot of people ask me, how did it get started and where did it start and all that. I think you've answered a lot of questions about our originating down on Orondo Street.
Right. And it was a good group of people, and they stayed giving me direction for 6-7 years there. So.
I know one of the stories that I heard, and I've become good friends with a gentleman by the name of Jim Telford, and what business he was in.
Oh yes.
And he was a Rotarian, and he got fined multiple times for calling bingo at the senior center, and they did bingo apparently in the basement of the Cascadian Hotel. I don't know if you go back to that era or not, but
I go back to that era, but it was funded by, the I had moved to the area agency, and so that was still the Council on Aging. They moved to the Cascadian and served their meals there, and their offices were there too.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
But that was kind of a neat story. But I can see why he got fined in the Rotary Club for doing bingo.
He was
at the
involved
senior
in
center.
actually trying to help us get the transportation program going. We brought in a great big bus and drove it around town. It was not very smart, but but we saw the need, so.
Well, thank God for Link, because that's how a lot of seniors get here for their lunches and their
That's a good program.
It is. Well, let's talk a little more about, now that you've gotten a little older, shall we say, talk a little bit about how you stay active. I think you've got an interesting story that we should convey to our listeners, that it takes a little bit of initiative and somebody has to provide that sometimes.
Yeah, as we were talking about, we had brought our motorhome over and stayed at Confluence Park and to visit Aaron and family. And when I say we, at that time, it was we, myself and my first wife, who passed with cancer. And I had a bike that I picked up, and so I decided I was going to try and ride the loop. And I was 64 at the time, and rode the loop. And believe me, I was really pooped afterwards. I mean, I was really out of shape. I had been going to the gym for quite a while, but I was always lifting, never doing cardio things. So once I moved here, and once my life settled down a little bit, Angela and I actually met actually riding bikes to begin with. And Angela and I ended up getting married, and I had lived here pretty much all my life. I was born in Wenatchee, had never been to Saddle Rock. And I've been there so many times now, it's not fun anymore. But we hike all over the place, and she loves to do that. And,
I get my whip out.
Yeah. She also was a member of the gym, and so I started going to the gym. And we go to the gym, well, pretty much every day. And we have these Fitbits, and we do that kind of stuff. But as I was telling you earlier, I don't have a hobby, and my hobby is reading and physical activity. And so we try and get at least 10,000 steps a day, but often we'll go walk 10 miles up in the hills. So
wow.
And we have a dog. We've had one dog prior to this. Actually, Aaron provided us with that as well. But
she found them.
Found them for us. But we have right now a golden doodle. And she loves she just turned 3 yesterday and loves to go out. And so we feel an obligation to exercise her. So we like a normal day was we'll go to the gym, we'll go pick her. We'll either take her this time of the year and take her to the park, then we'll go on a walk at least afterwards.
Your granddad, it was my first job I ever had thinning apples. And he was down at the service station one day. It was a hot day, middle of the summer. And he was cussing because he couldn't find anybody. And my granddad says, and my mother named me David, but the Army changed my name to Dave. and my granddad said, David, go up and get some clothes on or get a T-shirt on or something and go with Jack and go help him out or something like that. And so I did. I went out and thinned apples for him. And I was probably in the 8th grade or maybe even younger.
I never worked for him, and I'm probably glad. I mean, he probably would have worked my butt off.
Yeah.
I can remember as a little boy, well, they had bought me a horse. Or they said it was mine.
Yeah.
It was later killed by a logging truck. You ever hear Duck Fisher? Do you ever hear the name Duck Fisher?
I remember a name, Duck Fisher.
He was a logging truck driver.
I remember.
I used to go up in the woods with that little van. They'd go up in the woods with my grandfather when I was, 12, 13. And I'd stay up there around a fire, and then I would ride back with the logging truck guy. And they wouldn't do that today now. I mean, this guy later, he killed himself or killed in a logging truck accident, He got killed. It was a heck of an experience for me. 12, 13-year-old kid.
I remember all the logging trucks.
Pop was just scaling up there at the time. And he had a log fall off and hit him on the head.
I don't doubt it. That was dangerous work.
It was wasn't very big, and it bounced on over. But anyway.
Good stories.
Yeah.
I wish I could do this all day, but I can't.
I know.
You have work to do.
We've got a dog in the car.
Well, we have to go for a walk now.
So Jack and Angela, I appreciate you stopping by today. This has been a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be edited out because we can't broadcast what we talked about in some cases, but it's been very enjoyable. I hope you feel the same.
I do. I appreciate it.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge in Leavenworth has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and dine with beautiful views of the mountains. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Call Crystal's to reserve their event space. Whether your event is grand, intimate, or casual, Crystal's provides unforgettable food and superb service. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, proud to be serving fabulous food and drinks.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Let's Drop Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Hit the road safely with Les Schwab and save up to $150 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Kashmir. Affordable care.
For more than 56 years, Crown Furniture and Mattress has been serving North Central Washington with the same principles we were founded on, offering the best quality, great value, incredible comfort, honesty, integrity, and of course, made in the USA. Because so much of our inventory is made in America, it has alleviated a lot of the shortages companies are experiencing nationwide. We are overstocked and ready to deliver. So stop by and see us today or visit us online at www.crownfurnitureandmattress.com.
Happy Friday. One of the top 7 days of the week. You got to put Friday in the top 7. You really do. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 17th day of June, 2022. Thanks for starting your day with us. 55 degrees, overcast, a little breezy. As we get into the last weekend of spring, summer begins in the wee small hours of Tuesday. The summer solstice is Tuesday morning at 2:13 a.m. I will not be awake when summer officially arrives. The first full day of summer then would be Wednesday of next week. The longest days of the year are upon us, and it's going to stay that way for a while. And your forecast is still calling for, well, cloudy and cool and unsettled weather until we get to next week. It looks pretty good right now for next week. We may even get to 80 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday, and we have not hit 80 all year long. We've hit 78 about 2, maybe 3 times. We haven't busted the 80-degree mark. Normally by this time of the year, on a normal year, we would have hit 80 at least 15 or 16 times. We haven't even done it once this year. That's going to change, I hope. Details coming up. We got news in sports. Mike Trout just owns the Mariners. He just owns the Mariners. He just demolishes Seattle. He did it again last night. Angels win the first of the 5 games between L.A. and Seattle. We'll have highlights. And all of a sudden, the Wenatchee AppleSox can't score any runs. They're doing their best Mariner impersonation. The Bells swept them. The third and final game was last night in Bellingham. We'll talk about that. And, of course, we have AppleSox baseball tonight right here on the NCW Life channel. We'll be televising the Bells and the Sox. They're playing 6 straight games in 6 days. They had 3 in Bellingham. Then they'll have 3 here in the big city. We'll be at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium tonight to televise tonight's game. Everything else you need to start your day. And we'll replay the interview I did with Chuck Egner earlier in the week, because the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival is officially underway today, tomorrow, and Sunday, with the big headliners playing not only tonight but tomorrow night. It's a big party at the fairgrounds in Chelan County. We're going to plant that seed, and hopefully you'll head on up to Kashmir and enjoy some great music with the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival. Chuck Egner will talk about that in the back half of the program. 55 degrees. Let's go. Let's see what we have out here around the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington. Again, with our Wenatchee Heights camera, which I don't think we've moved in a while. It's still showing a sizable swath of East Wenatchee. Once again, the Columbia River is running really high, and we're told it's going to get higher still. Long, late snowmelt in the upper elevations. That water's got to go someplace, and eventually it works its way down to the Columbia River with all the streams and tributaries that feed into the Columbia. That baby is cooking. It's pretty high on the banks. Good morning to East Wenatchee. Always good to see you. Camera number 2. Speaking of the Columbia River, I don't know what camera that is, though, Uriah. Oh, that's the Heights East. Yes, that's right. We have 2 cameras up there. Duh. No brains, no headaches. So that camera is also on Wenatchee Heights. It's farther to the east, and it's also lower in elevation. So that's the Malaga-Alcoa Highway that you see there, and you can make out a little bit of Payne-War Memorial Airport and a little bit of the Highlander Golf Course as we look out towards Rock Island, and a big tree to your right. Camera number 3. Up to the Badger Mountain camera we go. Badger Mountain Road is right down there below you with the waving wheat, which can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. I have to stop now, or we have to pay Rogers and Hammerstein royalties. We don't want to do that. Sunrise and sunset this morning, just like it was yesterday. Sunrise at 5:03, sunset at 9 o'clock, 15 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. Starting tomorrow, sunrise will be actually 1 minute later. So tomorrow, sunrise will be at 5:04, but sunset will be at 9:01. So the sun will come up a little bit later, almost incrementally in the morning, but it will set a little bit later in the evening hours. Good morning to our friends high above the bench in East Wenatchee, and camera number 4. Billy Goat chimes in. Beautiful morning up there in Okanogan County. Good to see you, Billy Goat. I'm assuming if the Columbia River is running high and cold, that the Met-How is also doing the same. I don't know that, but it must be true. By the way, speaking of that, they're reopening a lot of the campgrounds and the trails in that area up the Met-How Valley after all those fires. But you can go out and start recreating Father's Day weekend, and that's good news. We'll talk about that when we get to the news. Good morning to Okanogan and Omak and Brewster and Bridgeport and Pateros and Riverside and Tonasket and everybody else up north. We have a couple of slides to show for you. Speaking of up north, you folks in the Okanagan Highlands, you are at risk for a thunderstorm this afternoon. The weather system that's affecting us now, and will actually affect us pretty much all weekend, is really slow moving. And when it's really slow moving and we have a lot of daylight, 16 hours of daylight, that certainly leads to the increasing chance of an isolated thunderstorm. We're going to probably dodge that bullet here in the Wenatchee Valley, but up north in the Okanagan Highlands and up near the Canadian border, you are susceptible to some thunderstorms. It's a possibility, and also if you're heading off to the east to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene and Idaho, you are also at a high risk of a possible pop-up thunderstorm this afternoon and this evening during the warmest parts of the day, but it's still not going to be real warm. Now, we also have from the Climate Prediction Center the forecast for the first week of summer. This is your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. It begins on Wednesday, the 22nd, and goes through that week. And as you can see, we have a better than 50-50 chance, in fact, a likely chance of seeing temperatures again below normal. Man, are we tired of that. Look at the southeast part of the country, though. They're going to be baking all the next week. So that's your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for the first week of summer. Looks like it's going to be cooler than we normally see. As far as precipitation is concerned, we'll probably be about where we should be. It looks to be pretty dry in eastern Oregon and a good swath of Idaho. But for us here in north central Washington, we have about a 50-50 chance to have precipitation about where it should be. And keep in mind now we're well into June. In fact, it's closer now to July than it is to June, and we don't usually get a lot of rain this time of the year, and it looks like that is going to be the case indeed. So, without further ado, from the National Weather Service, I wish I could tell you better news than this, because I'm quite frankly sick and tired of this. Lots of clouds, chance of rain, a little windy, and we'll get up to 73 degrees. Yesterday's high was 74 degrees. Our normal high is 78 degrees. We were below normal yet again yesterday. 52 for the overnight low. We should be dry tonight. Whatever rain we get, they say is going to happen before the noon hour today. So we're going to see some sprinkles like we had yesterday morning. There are a couple of spots, especially in western Wenatchee, up on the western area. I was up around John Newberry Elementary School in that area. There was a deluge that came down yesterday morning about 9 o'clock. It really was pouring down. That could be a possibility again today. Let's take you into the weekend, Father's Day weekend. A lot cooler on Saturday. We'll see a few sun breaks. Still could see a thunderstorm. That's not out of the question. But we're only going to get to 67. Much cooler than we normally would see this time of the year. And we could again see some isolated showers that can get pretty heavy on Saturday. 51 for the overnight low on Saturday night. For you, Father's Day, lots of sunshine, but it is going to be a little breezy at times, and again cooler than we should see. 70 is going to be the high on Sunday. We wrap up the weekend Sunday night with clear skies. 51 for the overnight low. That's chilly. Our normal low this time of the year is 56 degrees, and then we start the gradual warming trend. We're going to be under the influence of high pressure. It's going to be a flat ridge of high pressure, which means it's not going to cook us up real quick, but at least we'll get up to where we should be. 78 for the last day of spring on Monday. We welcome summer on Tuesday with a high of 82 and lots of sunshine. Bring it on. We do it again Wednesday, and then we cool down a little bit on Thursday. That's your forecast from the National Weather Service. After a 1-minute break, we will have your Friday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
Or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Find ageless beauty at Chelan Valley Skincare. Cindy offers the most up-to-date treatments for personalized skincare. If sagging skin or acne scars are some skin challenges for you, Chelan Valley Skincare offers non-invasive, non-surgical skincare. With up-to-date technology for shorter treatment plans, you'll benefit from Cindy's expertise to help you accomplish your skincare goals. Please stop by their website for details on all their services. Call Cindy today for your free consultation.
Overcast, 55 degrees. Not going to see a lot of sunshine today. Some morning rain possible. We'll top off in the lower 70s. It'll be quite cool on Saturday. Slightly warmer with bountiful sunshine on Sunday, and then a nice warming trend as we welcome summer. It's 10 minutes after the hour. One of the 6 people charged in an alleged gang shooting last year in East Wenatchee has walked away from a possible guilty plea. 17-year-old Angel Eduardo Montez, he was due to enter a plea agreement in the June 2021 shooting near the East Wenatchee City Hall, which left one man wounded in the leg. In Douglas County Superior Court on Wednesday, however, he decided he wants to go to trial. Montez is charged as an adult with first-degree assault, robbery, and unlawful possession of a firearm. 5 other adults are also charged in the shooting, which allegedly stemmed from a gang-related robbery. All of them face court hearings next month. An Upper Valley man is suspected of trafficking in stolen property that was taken from a cabin that had been locked up and secured for the winter. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies arrested 31-year-old Jesse Andrew Reeder on Wednesday. Deputies say a vacation cabin located between Leavenworth and Lake Wenatchee was broken into sometime over the winter with about $30,000 worth of materials stolen. Now, the out-of-state owner discovered the thefts back in April. Home surveillance footage allegedly shows Reeder and other people moving and storing items stolen from the cabin, including a surfboard and a motorcycle. Police say it's one of several vacation homes that were burglarized while they were locked up for the winter. They say the investigation is ongoing and more arrests are in fact possible. An East Wenatchee attorney says judges in Chelan and Douglas counties should throw out all DUI test results because another Washington court has ruled those breath tests inadmissible. Attorney John Brangwyn and his firm have filed motions in local district courts to suppress all breath results, pointing to a decision Monday by the Kitsap County Court to do the same. Judges there in Kitsap County ruled that the Washington State Patrol toxologist, that's the person who maintains breathalyzer machines throughout the state, failed to ensure that the machines were accurate for over a decade. Now, that ruling isn't binding on other counties, but Brangwyn says he and other attorneys may use it to argue for breathalyzer suppression in DUI cases throughout the Wenatchee Valley. Whether the Wenatchee City Pool will be available for swimming this summer, the rest of the summer I should say, is dependent on a temporary fix to the boiler. The boiler, they're going to try and do this next week, by the way. The boiler failed on Monday afternoon, and the pool on Fuller Street, it's been closed since then. City Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Director Dave Erickson said 3 separate contractors, they took a look at the boiler and they've been unable to come up with a fix. The consultants say the temporary repair isn't likely to work, but Erickson said they're going to give it a try on Tuesday of next week in an attempt to salvage some of the swimming season. He said the city is probably going to have to buy a replacement boiler. The soonest that could happen is in 12 to 14 weeks. Then it needs to be trucked over, and then it needs to be installed, and that's going to take another 3 weeks or so. The pool had been open to the public for less than a week prior to the boiler problem. On Wednesday evening, Velocity Swimming made a decision to cancel their big Starlight meet at the end of this month. It would have brought in teams from as far away as Alaska. Now it's not going to happen. Work began yesterday on the Cascade Orchard Bridge project just outside of Leavenworth. This is a big one. The contractor is moving in concrete barriers, going to take the 2-lane bridge down to just 1 lane with automated signals to utilize to get traffic across the bridge. This is on Icicle Road in Leavenworth. Construction on the bridge will take about 60 working days. There's going to be a scheduled full 30-day closure of the bridge in mid-August. Work includes removing the top 1.5 inches of the concrete bridge deck and replacing it with a concrete overlay that should last, they say, about 30 years. The project also calls for slightly widening the sidewalks on both sides. That way it would meet ADA standards. Taller bridge railings that meet today's safety standards and would able to accommodate pedestrians will also be added. And the U.S. Forest Service has reopened some of the trails and roads in those areas that were burned by wildfires last summer up in Okanagan County. Now, while some openings were announced on Thursday, the Forest Service said it could be a year or more before other areas burned by the Cedar Creek and Cub Creek 2 fires are going to be reopened for public use. Among the reopened areas, the Falls Creek, the Chewuk, and the Camp 4 campgrounds also reopened are trails to Falls Creek Falls, First Butte, and 8 Mile Ridge. In addition, all trail and road access up Cedar Creek, Wolf Creek, and Driveway Butte is now open. Information on the closures, by the way, in the Methow Valley District is available by going to the U.S. Forest Service website. That's the headlines. At just about 16 minutes after the hour, we're going to wrap up the work week with another newscast for you at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and right after the ball game at 10 o'clock. Tonight, with the preview, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, showers today, thunderstorms tomorrow, and cooler on Father's Day before we warm up to around 80 degrees next week. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a look at last night's AppleSox Bellingham game and has the latest on the Mariners and Angels series. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Don't forget you got a news tip. You want to chime in and say hi, you can go to our brand new website, ncwlife.com. Get a hold of us that way. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, or you can go to our Facebook page and use the Messenger app. We'd love to hear from you. After a break, Mariners, AppleSox, Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley on the NCW Live channel.
You are driven to succeed. This drive is part of who you are, part of your cultura, your valores. With achievement comes a sense of orgullo. It builds your community. You stand on the shoulders of those who have walked before you, the ones who pushed you to succeed. You have the choice to overcome the challenges that arise in your life. You decide your future. Sí se puede.
"18 minutes after the hour, Mike Trout's really good. Shohei Ohtani is really good. Last night, they were both really good. Angels beat the Mariners. The final was 4-1. Mike Trout just owns the Mariners. He's hit something like 50 home runs against the Mariners in his career. He hit a couple more last night. In fact, he had two-run home runs, and Shohei Ohtani was money on the mound. He pitched 6 shutout innings. The Halos win the first of 5 games scheduled this week against the Mariners.
There's a fastball that he punishes out to deep right field. Trammell back, and it's gone!
And going the other way for Trout. You don't see him hit many home runs to right field. You see him hit a lot of home runs in this field. But that's a fastball. Stayed on it. Hits it the other way. Halos up 2-0. By the way, I picked Trout today. Home run block.
Oh, click.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
1-1 pitch. Trout sends that one high and deep out to center field. Rodriguez back, feeling for the wall. The second of the night for Mike Trout. Got him this time. Another 2-run shot. 4-0 Halos.
What a swing for Trout. A big add-on run. That time he got a fastball. So that's 2 home runs today for Trout on fastballs.
Here's JP as we get back to the top of the order. Line drive into the corner. Demo can run. He'll score on this. JP. He'll get the second. Dillon coming around. There'll be no throw. An RBI double, and the Mariners are finally on the board. It's 4-1 Angels. JP with a ringing double. His 13th double, his 16th RBI.
1-2 to Toro. Got him swinging.
That is a nasty splitter from Raisel Iglesias. We always think of Shohei's splitter, but Iglesias' splitter is dominant also. That punch out, couple punching out the sides in this inning for Raisel Iglesias. Iggy getting Iggy with it.
George Kirby got the start for the Mariners. George Kirby took the loss for the Mariners, but manager Scott Service said it was the best start of his career.
George Kirby was outstanding. Was probably his best outing as a Mariner, quite frankly. And the quality of pitches, I think it was 80% first pitch strikes. He threw, I think, well over 20 curveballs. George was outstanding. He just gave up the 2-run homer to Mr. Trout, and 6 strong innings, but 2 runs. And with what Ohtani was throwing out there tonight, it certainly was a challenge. Ohtani was on his game, no doubt. All of these sliders and, obviously a really good fastball to work in to keep you honest, and along with the split fingers. So, rough night offensively, certainly in the early going against Ohtani. I thought Gino actually had pretty good swings against him. Suarez had a couple hits and then just missed a hanging slider that was caught, left field. And that happens. You're going to get just a few pitches to do some damage against Ohtani, and we weren't able to get much going there. So, again, credit to him. He's a really good pitcher, and unfortunately, Mr. Trout took care of business tonight.
Game 2 of the 5-game series is tonight. Let's see, Robbie Ray will take on Michael Lorenzen. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. Good seats still available. To the American League West scoreboard we go. Oakland salvaged the final game of their series with Boston. Knocked off the Red Sox 4-3. Christian Bethancourt's 2-run base hit highlighted a 3-run third for the A's. Escovel Duran's 3-run triple in the top of the 9th inning gave Texas a come-from-behind win over the Tigers. The Tigers have now lost 5 in a row. Bellingham completes the 3-game sweep of the AppleSox at Joe Martin Field last night. 5-0 the final. Ryan Milan was the hard luck loser on the mound for the AppleSox. He tossed 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. He allowed just 1 run. The voice of the AppleSox, Storman Joel Norman, said, "It's not like Wenatchee didn't have any chances to score. They did."
Well, for the first time since 2014, the Wenatchee AppleSox are swept by the Bellingham Bells as Bellingham takes all 3 games against the AppleSox at Joe Martin Field. It concluded on Thursday night with a heartbreaker for Wenatchee. They had foot traffic in just about every inning, but would ultimately lose 5-0. It was a 1-0 ball game going into the bottom of the 7th inning, and then Bellingham added 4 runs in the bottom half and a couple of AppleSox errors as they sent 10 men to the plate. Each of the first 4 of the inning reached base safely. Heartbreaking for the Sox because there were so many chances offensively, hit into 4 double plays, and the loss overshadowed a great effort on the mound by Ryan Mullen, incoming freshman at Loyola Marymount. In his second start of the summer, he tossed a season-high 5 innings, struck out 7, only allowed 3 hits, only walked 1, but allowed the 1 run that was enough for the game-winning run. The AppleSox are looking for their offense to pick up. They have scored 1 run in their last 3 games. It was a 6th-inning RBI single with 2 outs on Wednesday by Grant Sherrod. They've got to get something going as they return home to face the Bells Friday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium at 6:35 p.m. Wenatchee will be sporting their brand new powder blue jerseys. First time they'll be wearing those. They'll also wear them on Sunday for Father's Day at 1:05 against the Bells. With your AppleSox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. Michael Deviney continues his hot streak. He's hit safely now in 12 consecutive games. As Joel mentioned, the Sox return home tonight with their brand new powder blue uniforms. They're hosting the Bells. Yep, we're going to have it right here on the NCAA Live channel with the first pitch at 6:35. In other West Coast Baseball League action last night from our friends at Les Schwab, Duke Brotherton struck out 7 over 5 innings, combined with 3 relievers and a 3-hit shutout of Cowlitz. Corvallis wins. The final was 9-0. Colton Moore, 3 for 5 with a couple of runs, couple of RBIs to lead Victoria over Kamloops. The final there was 8-3. Caden Loranger was 2 for 5 with 3 runs and a couple of RBIs. Edmonton edged Ridgefield 13-12. Golden Tate extended his hitting streak to 3 games, but Bend was the better team. The Elks beat the Lefties 9-0. Jalen Ray led a 2-run rally in the 7th to break a 2-all tie. Springfield knocks off Yakima Valley 5-2. In non-league action, Walla Walla, the Sweets beat the Northwest Star Academy 8-1. And Dalton Mashore mashed a grand slam home run in an 8-run 6th inning. The Pickles beat the Gherkins in Portland 10-2. The updated standings in the West Coast League. Going into Bellingham, the AppleSox were in second. They're not in second anymore. The Bells are in first place, a half game in front of Kamloops and a game and a half in front of Port Angeles. And Victoria Corvallis, not surprisingly, off to another hot start. They lead the South. They're 6-0. They're a game and a half in front of Bend, 2 up against Portland and Cowlitz. Besides Bellingham and Wenatchee, there's the rest of the games you can watch tonight, including one non-leaguer, Redmond at Nanaimo at 6:35. We will see you at the ballpark tonight. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On the 17th day of June, I had 4 obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Cherry Tart Day, National Apple Strudel Day, National Eat Your Vegetables Day, which you should do every day, but no. Today, a quick shout out to our sanitation worker friends, sometimes known as garbage men. I prefer sanitation workers. It's a nasty, ugly job. I mean, think about it. You got to breathe in all kinds of odors that make you sick, broken glass, dust. It's a dirty, nasty, rotten job. Somebody's got to do it, and these guys do it, and they do it well. We do our part by creating way too much garbage. When it comes to garbage, we're number 1, baby. It's not even close. We are number 1 in producing trash here on this planet. United States, number 1. The average American produces 7 pounds of garbage every day. Every day. That's, we produce 30% of all the garbage in the world right here in America. Almost 50% of all the products that we buy, we use once and we throw away. And 50% of the plastic that we use in this country is thrown away and not recycled. Hang in there, garbage guys. We love you. sanitation workers, whatever. I'm glad I don't do that for a living. But I'm told they're fairly well paid, so there's that. 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the Battle of Bunker Hill. This is a big one way back in 1775, June 17th. 1775, 247 years ago today. We lost. We didn't win the Battle of Bunker Hill, of course, but we did inflict some pretty heavy casualties on the British. And even though we lost the Battle of Bunker Hill, Great Britain went, uh-oh, they're going to fight. We were thinking they just going to roll over and play dead, and we'll just keep North America to ourselves. And after the Battle of Bunker Hill, the Redcoats realized, oh, geez, they're going to fight. Oh, well, now we got a war, the Battle of Bunker Hill, 247 years ago today. 137 years ago today, June 17th, 1885, the Statue of Liberty made it to New York Harbor, shipped over from France. It was just a gift. The people of France paid for it. They built the statue. They took it apart. They put it on the boat. And they put it on in the crates and the barges, and they shipped it over to the U.S. and say, here's your statue. Of course, New York was responsible for building the pedestal to put the statue on, which they didn't do. It sat there in the crates in New York Harbor for well over a year before they finally raised enough money to build the darn pedestal to put the statue on. That's not being very nice. In fact, it took so long that both Boston and Philadelphia both said, we'll take the statue and we'll put it in our harbors and we will build the pedestal. We'll take it from you, New York. And New York said, now we'll get on it eventually. And they did eventually. Statue of Liberty arrived in New York and then went into storage on the state in 1885. 59 years ago today, the case is Abington School District v. Shep. And on this case, the United States Supreme Court rules 8-1 that school-sponsored prayers and school-sponsored readings of the Bible in the classroom was unconstitutional. The separation of church and state was being violated. It was an extremely controversial ruling at the time, as you might imagine. Since that ruling, 59 years ago today, in Congress, there have been over 150 resolutions drawn up to overturn this ruling by amending the Constitution, which is the only way you can do it now. All 150 plus efforts have failed in the 59 years since school prayer and Bible readings that were required was declared unconstitutional. And finally, June 17th, 1972. 50 years ago today, that's the headlines from the Washington Post. In the wee small hours of the morning. Now, they had done this before. They had gone in a couple of weeks before, these five guys, and they planted bugs at the Democratic National Headquarters at the Watergate Office Complex in Washington, D.C. And then when they listened to what they got on tape from the bugs, it was nothing. It was receptionists and secretaries making hair appointments and dinner dates. And they go, this isn't what we bugged the offices for. So they went back in on the wee small hours of June 17th, 1972, 50 years ago today, to try it again. And the five of them were arrested by the Washington police. Nobody really thought much of it at the time, but the beginning of the Watergate scandal, 50 years ago today, and it would eventually bring down a president who, quite frankly, brought himself down. Birthdays at the bottom of the hour. Ruth Graves Wakefield, one of the greatest Americans ever. Ruth Graves Wakefield, the inventor of the chocolate chip cookie. She invented the cookie. It was in Massachusetts. It was a local delicacy. Didn't really go anywhere until World War II. And when they would ship off all of these care packages to soldiers in World War II, the soldiers who were natives of Massachusetts were getting these Toll House cookies in their care packages. And they shared them with their fellow GIs, and the GIs said, this is fantastic. What is this? Chocolate chip cookie. We have them up in Massachusetts. And before you know it, they're writing home, hey, send me chocolate chip cookies. Hundreds of soldiers asked their families, please send them chocolate chip cookies, Toll House chocolate chip cookies. Ruth Graves Wakefield was inundated with orders for chocolate chip cookies. She couldn't even keep up with them. So she got together with the Nestle company who made the chocolate chips, and they cut a deal. What they did is the Nestle company and Ruth Wakefield made a business arrangement. Wakefield gave Nestle her chocolate chip cookie recipe. Nestle gave Wakefield a lifetime supply of chocolate chips. And the traditional recipe is still there. If you go to the store and you buy the plastic bag of chocolate chips, the original recipe is still on the back of the package. We love you, Ruth. She died in 1977 at the age of 73. And Kendrick Lamar is 35 years old today. I have not listened to his new album. It's been out for about 6-8 weeks now because it's not on vinyl yet, and I want the record. I have all of his other albums as an album. Just put it out on vinyl, will you, Kendrick? I'll listen to it, I promise. He's 35 years old today. Going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Then we're going to re-air the interview I did with Chuck Egner, who is in charge of booking all the musical acts for the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival, which begins in earnest today at the Fairgrounds in Cashmere. Chuck will be my guest when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has hot tubs in stock now. Spas are scientifically proven to improve sleep and ease arthritis pain. Let us help you find the perfect spa today. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa is helping families reconnect, one hot tub at a time.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
The AppleSox are back in town this weekend to take on the Bellingham Bells, Friday through Sunday at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Friday and Saturday get started at 6:35 p.m. and Sunday's Father's Day game is at 1:05 p.m. Let's bring the energy and noise at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium this Friday through Sunday as the AppleSox look to stay hot. Celebrate Pops by spending your Father's Day weekend at the ballpark. Wenatchee AppleSox Baseball, celebrating summer one inning at a time.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Things have changed in the motorsports industry. Short supply and high demand have emptied showrooms.
But what hasn't changed are the experts at Doghouse Motorsports. They are here to help you reserve the machine of your choice. Stop by and check out the latest 2022 Husqvarna motorcycles, UBCO, and Intense electric vehicles, and other new additions to the Doghouse Motorsports family of high-quality products.
Over the last year and a half, the industry's absolutely changed, but the Doghouse is still your best option for all your power sports needs.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Like I've said before, I'm a regular churchgoer, so I run into this guy who I used to see at church, and as I haven't seen him for a while, I asked him, where's he been? Is everything okay? He said, I stopped coming, and the reason was I've been going there to church for a year, and no one has ever invited me out to lunch. Now, what kind of reason is that? Was he going to church to arrange lunch dates? And what I should have asked him is, did you ever invite anyone to lunch? Wouldn't it be a good idea if maybe we should do unto others what we would have them do to you, rather than expect people to do to you just because you happen to be there? This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Attention RVers and campers. There's a huge RV liquidation event going on now at Click It RV of Moses Lake. Click It RV of Moses Lake must make room for new inventory arriving daily. There's a huge selection of top quality RVs that must be liquidated to make room for new arrivals.
You're going to want to be at this event.
Get to Click It RV Moses Lake's huge liquidation event.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro? You probably already are.
Get the best deals anywhere at Click It RV of Moses Lake.
We guarantee it.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.